Hey guys, welcome to the CollectorMania YouTube channel. I'm Eric, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Commander 2017 product coming out. I drew my tribe out of a hat, and so did Steve, Greg, and Kylie. I have gotten vampires, if you couldn't tell by our background here, and we're going to start our kind of brew previews off here with, I believe it would be Licia, Sanguine Tribune. She is 5 red, white, and black, legendary creature vampire soldier. She costs 1 less to cast for each 1 life you have gained this turn. First strike, lifelink, and she's got an activated ability here. Pay 5, put 3+1 counters on Licia only during your turn, once per turn. So, and she's a 4/4. So pretty good. A lot of the cards I've chosen here kind of fit a theme of gaining some life, taxing your opponents, that sort of thing. This is kind of the easier commander out of the 3 vampires that we have spoiled today. For me, I kind of played this sort of deck back in Shadowmoor Lorwyn, so kind of neat there. But moving on, the first one we have here is Blood Artist. Whenever another creature dies or him, target player loses a life and you gain 1 life. So pretty good, especially if we have some, like, say, bats or other vampires, especially if we're using this out of the box with, like, Edgar playing the tribal vampire tokens. Like, getting some extra stuff, gaining some life is a really good idea, and it'll make our commander cost less as we go. Next, we have Drana's Emissary here at the beginning of your upkeep. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So to start the turn, this is our 3-drop here. If we think about turn 4, that would give us what? A 4th mana, 3 mana to afford our commander. So we'd be, I guess, 1 short at that point. So turn 5, you can play your commander a little early just by playing that card as well. Moving on, we've got Pristine Talisman. It kind of just jumped in my head all of a sudden. It's like, there's got to be a mana rock that does this. And, of course, play it on 3, turn 4 or later. You can tap for 1 mana and gain 1 life. So with your commander, it's essentially getting you 2 mana. You're turning your Pristine Talisman into a life, 2 mana to cast your commander. Kind of intriguing. I thought I'd include it. Next, we have another similar one. We have the Radiant Fountain. I think Steve argued against this card for a moment. I think I swayed him. We'll see.
Yeah, until you explained it to me, and then I was like, "Holy crap, you're right."
Yeah. The first thing, and I did have I think it's Kabira Crossroads on the list. Not as good. It comes in tapped, but this one, the Radiant Fountain, doesn't come in tapped, which is really great. So you can tap it for your mana the turn it comes in, and gain 2. So it's kind of 3 mana to cast your commander, assuming you do have your colors fixed. Again, maybe not as good, but it's an interesting choice in this space with this type of mechanic on our commander. Moving on, we have Archangel'soon, flying lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a +1 on all your creatures. Really, really good card. There's a reason this is pretty expensive. So it kind of stinks it's not a vampire.
Well, and keeping that in mind, like, this commander doesn't necessarily have to be tribal vampire. So
that's true.
Just also the important part.
Yeah,
I would think.
And if you are familiar with Conspiracy, the card Conspiracy from like Time Spiral and Mercadian Masks, like, you're in business anyway. You've got a vampire in all your cards. Next, we've got Malakir Blood Witch, flying protection from white. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses life equal to the number of vampires you control, and you gain life equal to life lost this way. So kind of a blowout card if you've got a bunch of tokens, like out of the box gameplay. Even if you have 5 vampires, it's like a mini Gary that doesn't worry about devotion. Definitely a good card. Next, we've got one that kind of fits a whole family of extort cards in Blind Obedience. Of course, you're tapping down your opponent's stuff as it comes in, and you get an extort outlet. You can pay it once per turn. You're gaining 3 off your opponents, assuming you haven't killed anybody yet. And then you can kind of go from there, again, making it a little easier to cast your commander on almost every turn, instead of like the Fountain or the Talisman or something, the turn you tap for something. We had included Boon Reflection and Rock's Faithmender, but settled on Alhamret's Archive. Doubling your life gain, doubling your card draws is not too shabby. Definitely a good include pretty much for any deck, I'd say. And then one we thought was kind of interesting was a Tainted Sigil. Sacrifice it, you gain life equal to life lost this way. So it's good to recover. If you've got hit for like 90% of your life total, you can gain it back. If you hit everybody, you can kind of double dip and get extra life off that as well. So kind of a neat choice. Again, I love it. I used to play it back in Shards of Alara as well in a horrible Black White Life game deck. And our last one, I think our last one, maybe Defiant Bloodlord. Flying whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So same sort of thing. If you get a really big turn of life gain, you can turn it into a big turn of life drain for somebody else. So,
and I'd say this one's definitely in a family too, because I mean, there's a Sanguine Bond.
Yep.
You know,
Exquisite Blood. You know, I didn't include those. They may, for all we know, be in the kit. I think Exquisite Blood needs a reprint. Sanguine Bond has come down a little bit, but, you know, great cards. Not a huge fan of infinite combos, but and you think of Vig's Copa Guildmage or whatever, like, there's a number of ways to kick that party off. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Check out the other two Vampire Brew previews.